I'll start with what exactly happens in Madden project. Okay, so these are the things that maybe you have studied in Mad 1, but maybe you have completed Mad 1 early or something like that. So let's just do that. Okay. Okay, so my pen tablet, I'm so sorry, it had some issues, so you'll have to just tolerate this. Okay, from the next session, maybe I'll try to bring my pen tablet so it will be easy to explain. Okay, so in a simple web application, so we're building a web application. Okay, just to remind you, a web application is an application that you can open in browser and everything. Otherwise, you will have to just download it. Okay, so we are not building the application that is that in like in a downloadable way. We are building an application that is accessible through browser. Okay, so we will building a web application. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, so exactly what happens in Mad1 project. Okay, so Mad1 project is like yeah, so okay, so there is a server. Okay, let me build a box here. Okay, so there is a server. Okay, so there is a server hosting one application. Okay, how to host? Forget it. Okay, so like just a server that is responsible to answer the queries or answer the requests that come from the user. Okay, so suppose there is an application, let's say this only, this parking, okay, vehicle parking app that you guys are going to make. Okay, so vehicle parking, let's say. Okay, so this server is hosting this vehicle parking app. Okay, vehicle parking app, and let's say that I want to okay, so like we'll look to the problem statement, just don't worry, I'm just telling you that what exactly are you going to do. Okay, so um just a second. Just a second. Okay, give it. I'm not that good in this Excalibur draw. Sometimes it gives me nice. Yeah, I'll have to do that only, I guess. This is good. I'm left clicking, right clicking, but this not leaving. Just I did control Z. No, it doesn't work. That's why. Ah, thank you. Okay, escape. I didn't know. Okay, so there is a server. Okay, that is hosting your vehicle parking app. Okay, now what happens is that server is responsible to respond to the request that comes from the user. Okay, so let's say here is a okay, so here is a user. Okay, which is requesting. Okay, so let's say you are logging in. Okay, you want to log in, you are just jumping in the application. Okay, so you send a request by going to the page like something like that. Okay, so let's say you are here and you are going to mm, 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 just a second. Yeah, so let's say you are going to this Spotify application. Okay, so I hope this, yeah, so this gave me the landing page. Okay, so the same way server when comes into landing page, server's work is to return an HTML template, okay, in a response. Okay, so let's say it will return a login page. Okay, so login.html. Okay, so server will return the login.html just as this Spotify application did. Okay, so this page will be returned when landing page comes in. Then when suppose let's say user wants to log in, so the user will go here. Okay, put in the credentials. Okay, and then log in. Okay, so user again sends the credentials here. Okay, so user sends the credentials. um, okay, and again server will, let's say user is sending the credentials. Okay, and again server will respond with a, like suppose let's say user is sending the user password and username and password and everything. Okay, then server will again respond with the HTML page saying dashboard. Okay, so I'll not log in, but it will redirect to the dashboard. Okay, giving the details of the songs and everything like that. Okay, so like the basic thing, okay, that you will have to understand is it is nothing but you will just send the request. Server is hosting and server is responsible to reply to some requests. Okay, and it will be having those routes that will make. Okay, so there are routes serving it. Okay, so user will just send the application, server is going to return the HTML page. User is sending the application, server is going to return the HTML page. There are specific routes defined. Okay, so let's say just to make you understand easily. Okay, so let's write here. Okay, so server has different routes. Okay, so slash login. Okay, so what does this route do? Okay, so slash login is responsible to log in the user. Okay, okay, so it is responsible for the login of the user. Okay, so user will request to this slash login route. Okay, and there is some function written for the server. Okay, server knows. Okay, so like the thing that we are actually doing is that we are telling the server that when user request on this slash login route, okay, you are going to execute the function. Okay, so there is a function defined there, and we will see the code. Okay, don't worry. So there is a function defined there, and it will just do the login for the user. It will return the HTML page and everything. Okay, so basically there is nothing but there are defined routes. Okay, so let's say I'll say create a parking lot. Okay, so this route, if user will request to this route, then this route is responsible to creating the parking lot. Creating the Okay, so basically there are different routes defined. Okay, user will send the request to the particular route, and it will respond with the HTML page. Okay, so in module project we respond with the HTML page. We HTML page with every data needed and everything like that. Okay, so like it is nothing but just there are defined paths. Okay, you will have to just request to that paths, and server will respond accordingly. Okay, so request HTML page, request HTML page, there is nothing more than that. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, if you have any questions you can go on and ask. Okay, so like let's go sorry, yeah, so let's go further. Okay, so now let's see what is needed. Okay, so I know you guys have like saw this maybe or something like that, but I'll have to just go through from the basics. Okay, so what is needed? Okay, so what is needed is that first we need what? Flask. Okay, so Flask is a framework. Okay, framework to build and host the host, no, not but build the application, web application, web app. Okay, now if I say that Flask is a framework to build the application. Okay, so it will help me building the application using Python. Okay, so this is the most important because the structure, the basic things that we are going to do is with this. Okay, so Flask, then we need Jinja. Okay, so why do we need Jinja for? Okay, so Jinja is used for templating the HTML pages. Okay, so that we can change the data dynamically. Okay, so one example is like let's say sorry, yeah, so let's say you have a cycle. Okay, so user requests first time, server responds with the username. Okay, so server responds with username. Okay, says hello user. Okay, it says hello user, it responds with the username. Okay, but so user is logging in. Okay, so user is logged in. Now if I say that server responds with an HTML page. Okay, so every time it responds with an HTML page. Okay, so it will generate an HTML page. Okay, saying hello user. Okay, so the server will generate an HTML page saying hello user, and then it will just give that HTML page. Okay, so maybe the HTML page will look like this. Okay, forget about the structure, I'm just trying to make you understand why we need Jinja. Okay, okay, so there will be a simple simple structure like hello, and then the username. So the server will generate this, and then whatever the username is, let's say Darshan. Okay, it will just return this HTML page that I made. Okay, this HTML page that I made, it will just return this. Okay, it will just return this. Okay, so now um, for different user. Okay, so, web application is used by too many users. Okay, too many users. Okay, so like if some different user comes in, okay, then this HTML page will need to regenerate it again, because like suppose Vedant is there, so hello Vedant. Okay, so it will generate an HTML page saying hello Vedant, like this. Okay, otherwise it will say hello Rajat. Okay, so it will have to generate again and again based on the like different users. Okay, so let's say this. So it takes really, like it takes efforts to regenerate HTML page again and again and again and again, and it's not feasible. So we use Jinja. What do we use it for? We use this for like this. Okay, so we will use a placeholder here. Okay, and we are gonna basically do what is, every time we do this. So this is a Jinja syntax. Okay, so this is Jinja syntax. Now it is a Jinja template. Okay, and now we will just send the variable. Okay, and then we generate the same HTML page for all the users by rendering the template with the username that I want. Okay, so this is what we call a dynamic rendering, or whatever we want to call it. So like the one template, using one HTML template, we can serve all the users. Okay, so it's like for the dashboard also. Okay, all the users have different specifications. All the users have like different types of things. Okay, so maybe for your vehicle lot parking, like vehicle parking lot, whatever the application is, we are gonna so you're gonna make, so let's say the user owns parking lot number 1 2 3. Okay, and the user number 2, the other user owns parking lot 4 5 6, something like that. So the dashboard will also look different. Okay, so you will change the data dynamically from this, using this Jinja. Okay, so you don't have to generate HTML pages for again and again, and like waste the resources. Okay, so Jinja is for that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Jinja templating engine helps us create pages. Create use templates. Okay, so helps us use templating. Okay, so we all know that how the templating works now. Okay, so I hope you have done this in Madon course. We are gonna like explore it on high level, but it's just to make you understand. Okay, so this is why we use Jinja. Okay, now we need HTML CSS. Okay, we need HTML CSS. So HTML CSS is that what the user sees. Okay, so let's say this. Okay, so this is all HTML CSS. There is a HTML form being used, and then CSS, with CSS you give aesthetics and what the user sees exactly. Okay, so what we exactly saw here, that user sends the request, server has defined the functions. Okay, server has already defined the functions. It will return the HTML page, what the user will see. Okay, so to make the view for the user. Okay, okay, so to make the view for the user, or what the user will see. Okay, then we're going to use SQL Alchemy. Okay, SQL Alchemy is there. Okay, so now let's just understand why do we need SQL Alchemy. Okay, so user logs in. Okay, let's say user logs in, and server has this defined function to log in the user. Okay, and to log in the user, server will need to refer to some database, right? Server will need to refer to some database. Okay, and that database, for now we are using SQLite database. Okay, so SQLite is a database that we're going to use. Okay, so there is a database, and it has user details. Okay, parking lot details. Okay, and what the server will have to do is that when user sends a request for login, server will need to check that user exists or not, and based on that, it will just send the request that if the user exists in the database, then it will send the dashboard. Okay, otherwise if user doesn't exist in the database, then it will send the sign up request that sign up. Okay, and then you can log in. Okay, you are not the existing user in our database and etc. Okay. Okay, so this is how the structure is connected. Okay, so we are building an MVC application. Okay, as we know. Just a second. Yeah, so we are building an MVC application where M is our model. Okay, our model, our database. Okay, and the server is the controller. Okay, it handles the logic. And model stores the data and manipulates the data. Controller handles the logic. And the user side, what the user will exactly see is that view. Okay, user sees the HTML page. Okay, so model, view, controller. Okay, so from view, user will tap on login. Login logic will be written here. Okay, so business logic will be written all over here in the controllers. Okay, and then it will be modifying the model or sending the request to the model based on the request. Okay, so if the user is logging in, it will check that user is existing in the database or not. Okay, based on that, it will send the response. Okay, that if user exists. Okay, I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. Okay, so if user exists, then it will send the dashboard, otherwise it will send the sign up page. Okay, so model, we are storing the database. Okay, so model is the thing that is there. Okay, this is a Python code that we are writing. Okay, with the Flask. Okay, so how do we communicate with the model? Because model understands only SQL. Okay, model understands the SQL language. Then how do I exactly communicate with my model easily? Okay, so there comes SQL Alchemy. Okay, so SQL Alchemy. Okay, SQL Alchemy basically helps us communicate with the database using Python. Okay, so this is the use of SQL Alchemy. Okay, so we are going to use object relational mapping. We'll understand what it is. So basically what happens, to give you the high level idea, is that we convert tables into different classes. Okay, and we use kind of object relational mapping. Okay, so object relational mapping. Okay, so with the use of object relational mapping, we are gonna map the tables with the classes. Okay, and each object of the class, suppose let's say we have a user table. So there will be a user class in Python. Okay, in Python, and every object of the class object, every object of that class is an entry, is a row of a table. Okay, so like let's say user has name, username. So like that table will be converted into Python class. And then is there any way of group routing rather than routing everything individually? um I'm not really sure about that, Vedant. um yeah, so like group routing is, I don't think so, like you know is possible. You will have to define different routes for different functions. Okay, I don't think so it is possible. Okay, so let's move forward. Maybe I'll get back to you if some kind of thing like that exists. Okay, so SQL Alchemy helps us communicate with the database using Python. Okay, so we are building an MVC application. There is a database M. Okay, controller MVC, controller model view controller. Okay, and then what is needed? Flask, Jinja, HTML, CSS, SQL Alchemy, tables and classes. Okay, so that is not needed. That is the thing that is included here. But yeah, so this is what the need and the basic things are needed. Okay, so what I will urge you to do is that you should definitely look for the documentations. Okay, so you can just go to Flask documentation. Okay, Flask documentation. You can go here, you can explore. Okay, there's a lightweight WSGI web application framework to make getting started quick and easy ability to scale a complex application. Okay, so everything is there. Okay, so you can do the dependencies and virtual environments and whatever. Okay, so you just want to start maybe, yeah. So HTML escaping routing. Okay, so routing is here. Okay, so everything you can explore here. Documentations are the most, like the best things that like that can teach you. Okay, it's still not chat gpt. Okay. It is the um, it is this. Okay, documentations was started quite late, so I was unable to complete it. One of the main issues, if you can call it one, I faced was my Python file was becoming tediously long, well over 500 lines. Is there any way of uploading it? Okay, so Vedant, my Python file was 1300 lines. Okay, so so the problem is that your server needs to understand, that for what your route, like you will have to define different routes, because you don't know that what type of request is coming in. Okay, so suppose you're logging in, so server needs to understand that when you log in, these are the functions that that will be executed and that should be executed, right? So like when some different type of feature is there, so for every feature there is a route defined. Okay, so we can't avoid it. Okay, so we can't make a like group routing to answer everything and make a Python file small. Okay, maybe you can modularize your Python code. Okay, like divide the things. Okay, we will look into that. You can just divide the things into like model.py in a different file. Still routing will take a lot of lines. Okay, so like if I call about my time, then my Python code was all in one file. Okay, around 1300 lines of code I've written myself. Okay, and at that time, at that time there was not much efficient use of ChatGPT I did. But yeah, I wrote everything by myself, and I made like every like different routes for every feature. Okay, because routes can be treated for only one feature, right? So like login, if you are defining a login route, then it can function only the login part, right? So like you can modularize the code a bit. Okay, so you can just divide the code. When I saw my Python file, I was like, yeah. It is totally okay. Okay, mine was 1500 to 2000 lines of code. No worries about it. Okay, so like when you zip it and when you submit it, there is no problem in that. And anyways, like Python files are not that, like if you do that, it's not that much of a size wise, if you call it. Okay, if you're gonna submit it, and it will not cause any issue. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, like the important part is, by routing we are making pages in the web app, right? Yeah, so basically we have a templates folder. Okay, so how the thing will work exactly is that server will have a templates folder. Okay, and it will yeah, efficiency. So like this application is like that way only. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so like at high scale we don't use this type of things, that the server will send the whole HTML page, generate an HTML, send the HTML page. It is a mat2 project that is really efficient in that way. Okay, so if efficiency wise, there is not an efficient thing to do. Okay, there is really not an efficient thing to do for sure. Okay, definitely you should see the mat2 project, how that is. Okay, so mat2 project is, we use JavaScript frameworks and everything to make our application efficient. That is good. Okay, when you scale it, that is a scalable application that you can make. Okay, this is just to make you understand of the basics, like foundations of the web application, that how the things are going to work. Okay, it is just sending. It is like efficiency wise, or what do you call it, like industry wise or anything. Okay, that is like this project is not for that. This is just to test you on your knowledge of modern application development one. That is the basics. Okay, pretty basics. Okay, so if you understand the mat one, then you'll be able to do the mat 2 efficiently. So mat 2 is efficient, this is not, because yeah, this is the way, like it in the templates folder there are numerous of templates in the templates. Yeah, I'll answer that question. So like the templates folder is there, and we are generating HTML templates, and like dynamically we are rendering. The problem is that we'll have to render, server will have to render and then send it. Okay, like at a scale it is not that efficient. Yeah, so apart from chat.js we can't use JS in the entire project, so it is not suggested. Okay, so the one thing that I wanted to point out is that you can use JavaScript, you can use chat.js also. Okay, you can use a little JavaScript like alert or something like that if you want to use. Okay, but the more you will use the JavaScript, the more you will have to be ready for the Viva questions. Okay, because the Viva questions are on the things that you have done. Okay, so if you are using JavaScript, that then Proctor will assume that yes, you are efficient in JavaScript, and he can ask questions and evaluate you based on that. Okay, so it is not suggested to use JavaScript that much. Yeah, you can use Chart.js, you can use simple alert messages or something like that if you want. Okay, you can use, like people have used, more complex JavaScript also. Okay, but use only if you are really like, what do you say, really efficient in answering the questions. Okay, yeah, proficient. Okay, so then you'll have to be ready basically. Okay, so yeah, so there is a, like, we are defining the routing. Okay, and basically we are not making the pages in the web application, uh, making it is already generated pages, existing pages that we defined in the templates folder. Okay, and the thing is that we will just render it based on our need. Okay, so yeah, so the rendering part takes the resources more. Okay, so you can do the, like, explore the documentations. Okay, so you can go to Flask documentation, then you can search Jinja docs. Okay, Jinja documentation is there, you can explore basics here. Okay, so documentations are still the best thing that you can explore. Okay, so you can explore the documentations. Okay, so for HTML CSS there is one more thing called Bootstrap. Okay, so you can use Bootstrap if you want. Okay, you can just explore the Bootstrap part, and you can just maybe do that. Okay, so it's just a like defined, predefined and pre-made HTML and CSS combined that you can use. Okay, so people have already done everything, and you just have to copy paste that. Okay, so you can take you know everything, buttons, login pages and everything from there. Okay, so yeah, so here. Okay, so you can explain, there are icons. Okay, so, like, for example, those are docs. Okay, so layout is there. Okay, like too many things are there. Okay, so form control, and then too many things are there. Okay, so you can explore the Bootstrap also. Okay, so, sorry. Yeah, you can use the elements. Okay, from here. Okay, so we are not going to go deep dive into the Bootstrap, because this helps us like improving the aesthetics and everything. Okay, so what I'm going to focus is like my focus is going to be on the basics and on the things that you need to make the application. Okay, so Bootstrap is, you can explore, maybe we can have a small discussion on that later, but right now Bootstrap is not the focus that we are going to follow. Okay, so now as we know that what is needed. Okay, let's go to the problem statement and look for that. Okay, so let's just explore the problem statement and how the things are going to be. Let's just understand the things. Let's just point out the important things. Okay, that I noticed that maybe people make some mistakes. So yeah, just a second. If you have any questions in between, you can ask. Okay, don't worry about anything. You can ask the silliest question. Okay, okay, so just a second. Also, okay, yeah, okay, so this is your vehicle parking app that you're gonna make. Okay, so those who have the Madden subject, I don't think so, like, you guys have Madden, so any one of you have Madden subject with you, taken in the same term? No, right? Yeah, I guess so. You guys have studied in Madden already. Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, so this is a vehicle parking app. Okay, so basically, what this application is all about, that admin is going to create some parking lots and parking spots. Okay, so basically, how the things are going to be is there will be a parking. Oh, sorry, yeah. So let's say this is the parking lot that is being created. Okay, parking lot. Okay, all you all have seen wireframe, so I will not make it lengthy. I'm just discussing for the sake of clarity. Okay, so parking lot one is there. Okay, let's say admin creates this parking lot. Okay, and then there are parking spots. Okay, so number of parking spots are there. Okay, yeah. So yeah, they've given this. I'm just following my you know way of explaining. That's it. Okay, so let's say there are some parking spots. Yeah, there are some, like, this is a messy parking lot. Okay, not aligned on it, everything, but yeah, you don't have to worry about it. So now, um, yeah, now the user comes in. Okay, with the vehicle. Okay, with the vehicle comes in, and then there will be an entry that this user has this parking lot and etc. Okay, so basically it's just that like which vehicle has entered. So, like, let's say, to make this more detailed, we are going to discuss and we are going to draw together, but yeah, this is just a basic overview. So user is coming in and we are noting the time in out. Okay, vehicle number. Okay, then occupied and release. Okay, so basically it is occupied right now, this parking lot is occupied. Okay, so this is spot one, this is spot two, right? So now the spot one is occupied and spot two is free. Okay, so you will have to, like, in your application, you will have to efficiently manage everything, that yeah, this parking spot is occupied, empty, and everything like that. Okay, so this is just like that. Okay, admin will create a parking lot, it will create parking spots inside it. Okay, and that's it. Okay, user will come, occupy it, and then release it. Okay, so just to read the statement one by one. It is a multi-user app. One requires administrator and user that manages different parking lots, parking spots, and parked vehicles. Assume that this parking app is for a four-wheeler parking. Okay, so Flask for a backend. Yes. In the grading document, I'm sharing the link. Just a second. Yeah, in the grading document there is a problem statement link. So let's send yeah, this is a grading document link, and this is the problem statement link. Yeah, okay, so let's continue. So this is the thing that we already discussed: Jinja 2 for templating, Flask for application backend, blah blah blah. So this was just to make you understand that when you open the problem statement, these are the things that is done already. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, database must be created programmatically via table creation or model manual database creation. So basically it says that when your Python code runs in, your database should be created. Okay, you should not create it using DB browser or anything. DB browser is a GUI to handle SQL database. Okay, so you can modify the database, you can create the database from there, but your Python code should create it. Okay, so don't worry about it. So the platform will have two roles: admin, okay, the super user, okay, and the user. Okay, so what is happening? Admin is also known as a super user. Admin can create a new parking lot. Here we created a parking lot. Okay, spot 4. Let's just complete this. Okay, so it created a parking lot. Okay, and now it's saying each parking lot can have any number of parking spots for four-wheeler parking. Okay, so admin decides. Okay, admin decides. I hope the screen is not changing that frequently. Okay, because I'm just tapping on share this tab. Yeah, so um admin will decide. Okay, so admin will decide the number of spots in a lot. Okay, so we will discuss it in detail. Don't worry about it. Okay, so these are just the things that you will have to understand. Okay, terminologies sometimes can get messy. Okay, so each parking lot can have any number of parking spots. Each parking lot can have a different price. Okay, so we all have went to, some place that charges for the parking. Okay, so some place is really expensive. Some people charges 30 rupees, 40 rupees. Some people I've seen, I've also given money to, some people for like per hour also. Okay, so they charge some like 20 rupees per hour or something like that. Yeah, this is really non real. Okay, but I paid it. Okay, I paid in like at some places. Okay, like say they like charge like this. Okay, some people charge 10 rupees for, the whole day. Then some places charge, let's say that they charge that, first 3 hours it is 30 rupees, and then 10 rupees per, something like that. Okay, so yeah, each parking lot can have a different price. Okay, so let's say this parking lot has some X per hour, or per hour or per day. Okay, it can be per hour or X per day. Okay, so now what is happening? Admin can view the status of all available parking lots on his dashboard. Admin can edit, delete any number of parking lots. Admin can increase or decrease the number of parking spots inside the lot. Okay, so what exactly this means? Okay, so we will use it because see, the important thing is core functionalities that I want to discuss. Okay, so this is just a terminologies. So we will move forward, and then I will draw each thing and make you understand everything. Okay, so admin can edit, delete means that if admin wants, okay, if admin wants, then he will delete, he or she will delete the parking spot inside this. Okay, he or she can change the price. Okay, so suppose festival is coming in, right? So if admin wants, then they can change the price of the parking lots also by 5 rupees or something like that. Okay, so that functionality is also admin has. Okay, so now user can reserve a parking space. Okay, he can register and log in, choose an available parking lot and spot, book the spot, release or vacate the spot. Okay, so this is simple. Okay, so this is a chart that all you need to know. Okay, so it's just a simple chart that you need to know. Otherwise, you will make it on your own. Okay, so as I said, user will come in, reserve a spot, and then release a spot. Okay, okay, so this is how it will work. Okay, now terminologies. So it is user will register login, user is register login, admin is super user, parking lot, it's a physical space, and inside that there is a spot. So lot is a let's say, yeah, so lot is a lot. Okay, and there are some spots inside that lot. Okay, so it's some land that you are deciding as a parking lot. Okay, and then you are having the spots inside this. Okay, you are making the parking spots inside this, and you are getting money to, the like people that park it. Okay, so lot, the land, spot, the exact spot where the thing is parked. Okay, this is just an overview that, how your model should look like. Okay, so it's up to you that how. Sorry. Yeah. So as I drawn. Okay, so this is a parking lot. Okay, so this is a parking lot. Inside this there are multiple spots. Okay, so lot. Sorry. Yeah, routing, you can think about it in a way that your application is structured. Okay, so yeah, so there is a lot, there is a land. Okay, so lot means land, and then inside that there is some spots that you want to create. Suppose you want that I will charge per hour 10 rupees, and I will have 6 parking spots. Okay, so assuming that all 6 parking spots are occupied, like it is not said that each spot. Yeah, so you can just decide a parking lot space. Okay, so in a parking lot you can decide a price. Okay, it is, yeah, it is up to you. It is up to you. It can have a different prices and it can have the things. Okay, so there is nothing written like like you can have a price. So exactly. You should go to your way. Okay, you should follow your way. It is not mentioned that, it should have a price of per hour or something like that. Okay, so here, if you can see here, see reserve parking spot. Okay, so it is saying that parking cost per unit time. It is mentioned unit time. So it's up to you. Okay, so per hour you want to charge or per day you want to charge. Okay, usually people charge for per hour or something like that, or maybe charge for per day also. Okay, and they will be like this place is open till 6 p.m, so this for this. Okay, so till the end of the day. Okay, So some people do that also. So it's up to you. It's up to your creativity how you want to make your application create. Okay, so yeah, let's move forward. Okay, so there is a parking spot. Spot is inside the place inside it. Okay, and the reserved parking spot. So reserved means that if some user comes in. Okay, if user comes in, if user is coming in, it occupies this spot. Then I will have to make sure that I save this as an occupied. Okay, so I say that I have occupied this. Okay, I have occupied this. Okay, and maybe we can okay, so this spot is occupied now. Okay, and then when it will be released, we will just change the color. Okay, so you're not changing the color in your application, but yeah, in a way you can do anything. Okay, so like admin should know. Okay, so admin should know that in this parking lot one, spot 3 is occupied, 3 spots are empty. Okay, so if the this spot is occupied, then admin should know that when the vehicle entered. Okay, when the vehicle entered, what what is the amount of money. Okay, so when the vehicle entered, so you have to measure the time also. Okay, when it comes out, so when the vehicle entered, what is the vehicle number, right? Something like that. Okay, so basically you will have to give the information to the admin. Okay, and then when this gets released by the user. Okay, when the user release this. Okay, so yeah, when user release this, then server will send this is the price that you will have to pay. Okay, something like that. Okay, like this is the price that user will have to pay after, like suppose it is the car is there for 2 days, so it will charge for 2 days. Okay, like that. Okay, so yeah, so this is the basic idea. Okay, so this is the thing that is all about. This is the chart that you will have to know. That's it. Okay, like nothing. Okay, it's not like this is the exact structure you'll have to follow, but this is the application is all about. Okay, this can be created, this can be deleted, edited. Okay, so we will see that, but this can be deleted, edited. Okay, so like you can remove or add the part. So remove or add the spot. Okay, you can add or remove the spots. Okay, then you can change the price also if you want. You can edit the parking lot in a way. Okay, so it's up to you. Not up to you. Okay, you will have to follow the core functionalities, and then it is up to you that how you create the things. But this is all about that. Okay, so there is a parking lot. Inside that there is a parking spots. You will have to store that which is occupied, which is not. Okay, so let's say this is also occupied. So I'll just change this. Two are occupied, two are not. Admin should be able to see. Okay, so let's write it here. Admin should be able to see occupied and vacant spots. Okay, admin should be able to see the vehicle details, date, time. Okay, everything. Okay, and also edit the spots. Admin can remove, add spots, everything admin can do. User can just come in, occupy the. Okay, so user can just here, if you write user can just come. Okay, occupy, release the parking spot. Okay, there is nothing that user is doing more than this. Done. Okay, so we are discussing the problem statement here now in detail, that what is exactly. Yeah. It's like user will able to see. Okay, so let's say user is coming into the parking lot one, so he will see that is there any vacant seats or not. Okay, if the user can't find the vacant spot, then so user will be able to just see, okay, that this spot is empty and this is the price. Okay, so user can just come occupy. So okay, so let's modify this. Okay, come see if there is a vacant spot available. Okay, and see the price. Okay, if the price is good, then maybe we sometimes find the like shady some place to park our car in, just because like the like parking people are charging too much. Okay, so I've seen that also, people do that. Okay, so yeah, so this is all about the application. Okay, so all about means we are gonna go like all about is the core functionality that you will have to do, but the high level overview. Okay, this is nothing but this. The parking spot will be lot will be created, number of spots will be created. Okay, user will come, see the price. If the spot is vacant, it will occupy, it will release. Okay, and then when the things are occupied, then admin will be able to see that these three spots are occupied by whom, since when. Okay, by whom, since when, that's it. And the price. Okay, and if admin wants, then they can change the status of the spots, number of spots they can change. Okay, so what is the exact application that you're going to make? I will tell you. Okay. So don't worry about that. Core functionalities is the really important part. This is the high level thing. Okay. Good. Are we good? Can I move forward to the core functionalities? So after the core functionalities, I'll end the session so that you can understand the structure of the application. That's it. Done? Okay. Okay. I hope the session is not boring. If it is, then let me know. Okay, so core functionalities. Okay, so this is all about the core functionalities. I will not look for the wireframe. So see, you can look for the wireframe. Okay, but wireframe is just to make you understand the basic structure of the flow of the application. It is not mandatory. Okay, see, it is written here that it is not replication of exact views is not mandatory. Okay, so sometimes what happens is, okay, so I've seen in the like final product that people make, they miss the some core functionalities. Okay, so core functionalities is okay, so just to state this. Okay, the most important highlighted fact that you are going to have is, okay, so you are getting the marks based on your completion of core functionalities. Okay, so the target that you will have to set is that no matter how much how much time and effort it takes, what I'm going to complete is this core functionalities till here. If these things are done, then you will not need to worry about your passing criteria or something like that. Okay, you can lose really good amount of marks if you will miss the core functionalities. So your focus will be on reading each of the core functionalities line by line. Okay, and making the core functionality there in the application. Okay, so core functionalities is mandatory. Okay, the wireframe is not mandatory. Wireframe sometimes it misses the details. Sometimes what happens is that this line is written here, right? So this feature is not mentioned in the wireframe. Okay, I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that it is not, but yeah, it's not giving you the things. Okay, so it's not replicating all the core functionalities. Wireframe is just to make you understand the structure of your application. That's it. So core functionalities you will have to do. Other than that, you can make this. Okay, so you can make this search or anything like that. Oh, just a second. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, no need to worry about the submission. We'll discuss this later. Okay, so core functionalities is the thing for you. Okay, so let's see what is the core functionality. Admin and user login. Okay, so login register from the fields like username, password for the user, and the login form for the admin. Okay, so you can make two separate forms for admin and user. Okay, and then you can log in as admin if you want. Okay, okay, so you can either use a proper login framework or just use simple HTML form. App must have a suitable model to store the differentiate all the types of users. So user table will be there. Okay, to understand that this is the admin, this is the user. Okay, then there is the admin dashboard. Okay, so admin dashboard will have admin should be added whenever a new database is created. So admin is automatic. Okay, it is a by default entry in the database. When you create the database, the entry should be there. Okay, when you create the database, the entry should be Admin is required to log in, but in the database, when you create the database, when you run the application, okay, when you run the application, when you create the database, user details, like sometimes the database is empty. Okay, you are deleting the instance file, you are creating the database when you're running the application again. Okay, so at that time, when the new database is created, okay, not the old one, new database is created. Whenever the new database is created, admin entry should be by default there. Okay. Yeah, database will be one. Okay, new database means that sometimes, let's say you are starting your application, right? So at the start, you will not have any database. When you will run the Python file that you will have, then you will create the database there, right? Okay, so you will be creating the database for the first time. So that there, it is saying that whenever you will create the database for the first time, or sometimes what will happen is you will, like you will have to delete the database, old database, and you will have to create the new database sometimes. Okay, so whenever this things happens, okay, whenever the first time, when the first time the database is created, okay, when the first time the database is created, you will have to make a entry, automatic entry in the admin side. Okay, for the admin credentials, that this is the admin, okay, and this is the password of the admin. For the user, we are having sign up and login, right? Sign up can create a new user, but we can't have sign up for admin, right? You don't see sign up for, because whenever you will create the new database, it will add that entry automatically inside the database that this is the admin. Understanding? In the database. Yeah, we'll have to create an entry, automatic entry, so that every time admin will come, it will have that credentials. Okay. Okay, just a second. Will you be sharing the recordings of these sessions? I need to drop off of this call, and it will be nice if I can get the recording to refer to later. Yes, sure, I'm recording it. Okay, I hope it is getting recorded properly. Okay, OBS Studio is on till since the last 1 hour. Okay, I'll be sending you the recordings, or I'll be uploading on YouTube or something like that. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, and try to join for the whole 2 hours next time. Okay, no problem. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, so admin should be added. Then admin creates, edits, deletes a parking lot. Okay, so admin can see. So this is the thing. Okay, so if I want, I can change the name of the parking lot. I can say parking lot one. I don't want to name it. I don't want to name it parking A, something like that. Okay, so admin should be able to edit the parking lot, or if I want, then I can delete the parking lot also. I just want to delete the whole lot, okay? Then I can delete the whole land also. That I don't want to use it as a parking lot now, and I'm deleting it, okay? So you can create a parking lot, you can, edit the parking lot, okay? Edit the details of the parking lot, or I want to change the price of the parking lot as I discussed, okay? So you can do everything. So whole CRUD should be there: create, read, update, and delete. You should be able to delete, you should be able to create. Remember, okay? You should be able to delete, you should be able to create, you should be able to update, okay? Then yeah, so admin can't add each parking spot individually. The number of parking spots will be created based on the maximum number of parking spots in a lot. Okay, so admin will not create the spots. Okay, so let's have an example of this. Okay, so let's delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this. Okay, so when admin will create the parking lot, it will define that this will have number of parking spots will be 5. Okay, so it will have given number, sorry, here, yeah. So I deleted this parking spots. Okay, when the admin will create a parking lot, when admin will create a parking lot, it like he or she is going to define that he or she will not create the parking spot individually. Okay, that's all I want to say. Okay, so it will not create like parking spot individually. Okay, he or she will define the number of parking spots. Okay, he or she will design the like define the number of admin will define. Okay, so admin will define the number of parking spots. Okay, so if it is 5, then when the admin will define the number of parking spots 5, the five spots will be created automatically like this. Okay. So admin will just say that when he or she will create the parking lot. Okay, so this is a lot. This box is lot. Okay, so let me define this again. Okay, so this is a parking lot. Okay, there is a parking lot. Okay, and there is a parking spot inside this. There is a parking spot. Okay, so this is a lot. This is a spot. Okay, so whenever the admin can't create the spots. Okay, so let's just define this. Admin can't, let's not write here, it will get messy here. Yeah, admin can't create spots individually. Okay, he or she will define the number of spots. Okay, so if it is 5, um yeah, okay, so he or she will define the number of spots. That number of spots will be created. You can save it as spot 1. Okay, then you can have spot 2. We will discuss the model structure. I will compare it with my application, then we'll tell you that what you can do in your application and etc. You just need to understand the structure here. Spot 3, oh sorry, this is 4. Okay, spot 5. Okay, so when admin will say that there are 5 spots in a parking lot, then like this will be created properly. Okay, so when the parking lot will be created, okay, number of parking spots will be defined. Okay, so this is the thing that here. And admin can view delete a parking spot, shows the parked vehicle details if the parking spot status is occupied, delete only if the parking spot status is empty. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, so now let's say this parking spot is occupied. This parking spot is occupied. Okay, so what it is saying that like we are taking the time in our vehicle number and etc, right? So admin should be able to see the details of the parked vehicle in the spot. Okay, admin should be able to see the details of the vehicle parked in the parking spot. Okay, and admin can delete the parking spot also. Okay, so there is a catch. Okay, so you can delete a occupied parking spot, right? You can delete a occupied parking spot because the vehicle is there. So if a spot is not like it, if a spot is vacant, then maybe admin can delete the spot just like this. Okay, so admin can view the spots. Okay, admin can delete the spots, parking spots. Okay, so admin can view delete a parking spot, shows the parked vehicle details if the parking spot status is occupied, delete only if the parking spot status is empty. Okay, admin can view all the registered users, that is obvious. Okay, admin can view the summary charts. Okay, so statistical summary is really important. Okay, so you will have to understand one thing, that statistical summary is really important. Okay, so you will have to give a statistical summary to the admin, that like per hour how many vehicles are here or etc like that. Okay, so any statistical details, that daily how many vehicles are coming in the parking lot, and which like average number of parking spots occupied per hour or something like that. Okay, so you can give the statistics. Okay, statistics has marks, so every line written here has marks. Okay, every line written here has marks. So please go through the core functionalities, each core functionalities, try to do that. Okay, so admin is done. User can choose available parking lot, and allocation is done as per the first available parking spot. The user can select a parking spot. Okay, so here is your query solved. Okay, so user can just see if there is a vacant spot available. So is there is a vacant spot available in a plot? Oh sorry, vacant spot there in a plot. So basically user can see that yeah, there is a spot here. Okay, User can't choose the spot. Okay, so user comes here, see if there is a vacant spot in the plot. Okay, so user comes in, he or she sees here, sees that the parking, this the lot has a vacant space. Okay, the lot has a price. Okay, the parking lot has a price, the parking lot has a vacant space, and you will allocate. So user comes in, the first empty spot will be given to the user. Okay, so we will write here, important thing is that user can only see if there is a vacant spot in a lot. Okay, and user gets the lot, gets the spot based on the first available spot. Okay, user can't choose if the spot 1 2 4 is available, then user can't choose that I want spot 2 or something like that. It will get the spot 1 because it is the first available spot. Okay, okay, so first available spot is the highlight of the thing. You will have to understand that it gets the spot based on the first availability. First available spot will be given to the user. Okay, okay, now, okay, so now first available spot will be given to the user. Okay, and user can't select a parking spot. User changes the status of the parking spot to occupied once the vehicle is parked. The user changes the parking spot status to released once the vehicle is moved out of. Timestamp is recorded between the parking in and out and shows the summary charge to user parking. Okay, so let's summarize this all at once. Okay, so user comes in. Okay, it gets this parking lot. Now status is occupied. Okay, when the status is occupied, time in and out, vehicle number, everything will be noted. Okay, timestamp will be noted, then when it came in, date, everything. Okay, so this is occupied. Now admin can see the details. Now when he will release, then we will change the status of this to again vacant. Okay, summary, yeah, summary will be there. I'm just coming into that. Okay, so this is just the user is doing nothing. It is seeing that the lot is available, lot has some vacant spots. It will get that, yeah, give me a vacant spot inside the lot. Okay, the spot will be given to the user. Okay, the spot will be given to the user and done. Okay, when he will go, he will release the status. Okay, so that's it is written here. Okay, say occupied once the vehicle is parked, user changes the parking spot, release once the vehicle is moved out. The timestamp is recorded between parking in and out, time is recorded, and the summary. Summary of user parking means that when the release will happen. Okay, so you can tell that, yeah, you have parked for this much hours, this is the price, and you can show the overall summary also. Okay, that what is the overall time and everything that you have parked. Okay, so this is all about your Madden project this time. Okay, so I will suggest that you will do the search here at least. Okay, so there is a recommended functionalities, but core should be there. Okay, there is a must. You will lose marks otherwise. Okay, but I'll suggest that you should do at least a search. Okay, other than that, it is up to you how to do the things. But the marks are for the core functionalities. If this will not be there, then you are done. Okay, so follow each and every line. We followed each and every line. We draw this beautiful, beautiful yet ugly structure. Okay, and yeah, so this is all about your Madden project. Okay, so